Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So lots to negotiate on this video today, but I did give you the breaking news earlier on, didn't I, in regards to Bissakà. Obviously now Manchester United and Crystal Palace have come to an agreement on obviously Manchester United signing Bissakà, and I think he's set to undergo his medical either today or tomorrow, so it hasn't been made fully official as yet, but reportedly Manchester United have agreed a deal worth around £50 million for him. So obviously, as it has confirmed, we are paying around £45 million up front, with £5 million in add-ons. Obviously Manchester United have offered him a long-term contract. I think it's a 5-year deal he's currently going to be signing worth around £80,000 a week. So obviously Bissakà is going to get a huge pay rise on his salary, so he's going to get around a £70,000 pay rise, because obviously Bissakà is only on £10,000 a week with Crystal Palace, and he's their lowest paid player in their first team squad and all that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously Bissakà is going to be our second signing this summer, obviously our second signing under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and obviously as well is going to be our fifth most expensive signing is Bissakà. So obviously now when we do get the deal fully finalised for Bissakà, that's going to take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's net spend to around I think around £68 million, because obviously we've already got Daniel James on the board, for £18 million. As you all know, a lot of reports came out last week, saying that we've only been given £100 million to spend. Obviously, it did provide a reason why we've only been given £100 million to spend, because obviously, we're not in a Champions League football for next season and all that. So it does say, we've only been given £100 million to spend. So when we do get the deal finalised for Bissakà, obviously, we've only got around just over £30 million to spend on a central defender, a couple of new additions in that midfield, the right winger, and obviously striker. But obviously we're not going to be able to do that with £32 million. I thought initially we'd been given around £200 million to spend, because obviously we do know that £100 million is nowhere near enough to address the deficiencies in the squad, and obviously isn't enough for the number of players that we do want to bring in, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has blatantly made it clear he wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the squad and all that. But the reports broke out about this, well, obviously, we held more extensive talks with Crystal Palace over coming to an agreement on a fee, and obviously, there has now been a breakthrough in negotiations, but it came out last week, and, it was actually, nonsense, to be quite honest with you, and, this was actually, coming from Duncan Castles. He said allegedly Manchester United had agreed a world record fee, of around £55 million with Crystal Palace for Bissakà, but obviously, that was currently nonsense. But this has come out from the BBC today, which is a very reliable source, and, they've said Manchester United now have come to an agreement with Crystal Palace. I think he probably will have his medical tomorrow. It could still possibly happen today, but I probably believe it will be tomorrow. But Bissakà, did tell Crystal Palace, that he does want to join Manchester United and all that. Obviously, we previously had 2 bids turned down for him. Obviously, the last bid we had turned down for him, was £50 million. Obviously, we'd offered £35 million up front. There was £15 million add-ons included. But obviously, Crystal Palace didn't like the structure of the offer, so they turned it down. Obviously, we offered £40 million. Well, that was the first bid. We put in £40 million. Obviously, again, Crystal Palace had turned it down. So basically, Crystal Palace just blatantly made it clear, they wanted around £45 million up front or £50 million up front. But we have now come to an agreement on the deal. But I think he's a really good fullback, is Bissakà. Obviously, so far, he has spent the entirety of his career with Crystal Palace. He has been a Crystal Palace player, since the age of 11. And he has graduated from their youth system. Initially, when he was younger, he was an out-and-out winner, was Bissakà, but as he was developing and all that, he got reverted as a fullback, due to his tenacity. Like I said, he only broke into Crystal Palace's senior squad in February of last year, and obviously, last season established himself as a first team regular. And I think reflecting on his impressive performances last season, I think he won Palace's Player of the Year and all that. Obviously, he's still got 3 years left on his contract with Crystal Palace, but he is only 21 years of age. So obviously he's going to fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to develop a squad of hungry, homegrown talents and all that, and he's got a hell of a lot of development in him. And I do believe Bissakà can be our fullback in the next decade. And also he's British, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talents to Manchester United this summer. So this is very good news, like I said. But now maybe the club should orchestrate on maybe selling players before we can currently buy again. Like I said, I think Paul Pogba probably will go, Lukaku will probably go, but I think we can generate around £200 million for their departure. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to sell Paul Pogba anyway, obviously to help the club generate funds and obviously rebuild the squad and all that. But I think actually, we are moving away from the policy, of signing them well-established players this summer and all that. Because, like I said, it's not always about spending big on players. It's not always about getting them Galactico players, as you all currently know. But quite a few people have suggested out saying we should be sensible over our recruitment this summer. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is planning to build an ambitious squad and all that. Obviously, he wants to get the right players in to obviously elevate Manchester United forward and obviously get us back to being a competitive elite level football club and all that, because we have been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years. But obviously, we've been mismanaged in the last 5 or 6 years, and this is the main factor reason why we have currently underachieved. But yeah, Bissakà, his defensive capabilities are very, very good. Like I said, he's proven as well in the Premier League, and I think he'll be a fantastic replacement for Antonio Valencia. I think he'll be also a good upgrade to Ash Young, and he will be a good cover-up for Diego Dalot. So him coming to Manchester United and Bissakà is going to rejuvenate his career. Of course, it's going to take his footballing career to the next level. But now, obviously, when we do get the deal finalised for Bissakà, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to want to build on that even more. And I think his priorities are going to be, when we do get the deal offline for Bissakà officially, I think his priorities, will be to get a centre-back in and also, to get a midfielder in, and hopefully, that is going to be Bruno Fernandes. I think probably more than likely Bruno Fernandes, will be our third signing this summer. But now, obviously, we do probably know we're going to get the deal over the line from Bissakà. Now, we will step up our interest in Bruno Fernandes, because obviously we're notified, Bruno Fernandes' representatives that we do need a bit more time. We need time to get the deal over the line from Bissakà. Then we will step up our interest in him. But reports have been coming out today about Bruno Fernandes, a bit more additional information to give you an update on. Reportedly, Manchester United have met up, with Bruno Fernandes' agent in London today, to discuss around a £70 million deal. I was reading reports yesterday, and it did basically say, Manchester United are reluctant, to pay up to £70 million for his services. Obviously, it came out from the Liverpool Echo, yesterday, and they were basically saying that Liverpool are the heavy favourites to sign Bruno Fernandes, because obviously we do know that Liverpool have been in for him. But obviously, it's very imperative that we get a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes, because obviously, he's been one of our main priority targets, for quite some time, and he has been on our agenda, for a long time as Bruno Fernandes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually instructed Ed Woodward, to speed up the deal for Bruno Fernandes, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did basically say, he wants the deal secured at the earliest opportunity. But I think Solskjaer demanded Bruno Fernandes' arrival by July the 1st, so he wants the deal completed by the beginning of next month. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say anywhere last month, he wants the majority of our transfer business completed by the beginning of next month and all that. But I do believe Bruno Fernandes is definitely going to be leaving Sporting Lisbon and all that. It's still obviously not fully. It's still not fully, we don't fully know yet, where he will be applying his trade next season. But like I said, quite a few teams have been in there for him. Obviously, it reported out last week, that we had, again, been discussing, with Bruno Fernandes' agent, obviously, discussing Bruno Fernandes', potential switch to Old Trafford. But both of the Portuguese press have been reporting out, at least in the last 2, maybe even 3 weeks, that we've been considered the favourites, to currently sign the player. Obviously, came out last week, saying that Tottenham had stepped up their interest and all that. And he also said, that Tottenham have been in negotiations with Bruno Fernandes' agent and all that. I think it was Wednesday of last week that Bruno Fernandes' agent, went to London, to have negotiations with Tottenham, because obviously, Tottenham want to do transfer activity this summer. Tottenham haven't done any transfer activity in the last couple of windows. Obviously, the last player they signed was Lucas Moura back in January 2018, and obviously, Mauricio Pochettino, does want back in this summer. Christian Eriksen's linked to a move to Real Madrid, so Tottenham are very desperate, to get a replacement for him if he does go. But there's been quite a few players on Tottenham's agenda. I think the book is favoured Tottenham, signing Tanguy Ndombele. Obviously, Giovanni Lo Celso's on Tottenham's agenda as well. But obviously, they're seeing Bruno Fernandes as a replacement for Christian Eriksen. Obviously, Tottenham can offer him Champions League football and all that. Obviously, Liverpool and that can offer him Champions League football. And if he was to go to Liverpool, I think, he would fit Liverpool's system perfectly. Like I said, they can offer him Champions League football and all that. But I'm still pretty confident, Manchester United can get a deal over the line for him. But he is a really, really good player. He's only 24 years of age. He's primarily an attacking midfielder, so I do believe he would be the good, adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. He's been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons. Like I said, last season he scored 31 goals, did Bruno Fernandes. He can score goals, he can provide them and all that. And I think him coming to Manchester United, he would rejuvenate the team. He'd dramatically improve in our midfield. He'd add depth in our midfield and all that. And yeah, so I think he's a very, very good player. Hasn't really played to the highest level as yet, don't get me wrong, but he's had a good couple of seasons with Sporting Lisbon. And I do believe if he comes to the Premier League, he can definitely replicate that at Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes did spend the majority of his career in Italy, when he was younger, with the likes of Sampdoria and Udinese. I think he also played for Novara, if I'm right, and all that. But yeah, very, very good player. He's still got a hell of a lot of development in him. He is under contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. His initial release clause is around £86 million. But City and Liverpool and Tottenham have obviously been in for Bruno Fernandes at least in the last couple of weeks. I think Liverpool and Tottenham entered the race when actually Manchester City had pulled out, because at one point it was looking very likely that Manchester City were going to get a deal concluded for Bruno Fernandes, but it got confirmed that City have pulled out of the race, and of course they have withdrawn their interest. So I'm hopeful that Bruno Fernandes is going to be our third signing of this summer. We know Bissakà is going to be the second, but I hope Bruno Fernandes, of course, is currently going to be the third. But he did initially say we was not willing to pay up to £70 million to him. Sporting Lisbon do want around £60 or £70 million. I think we initially rate him at around £49 million, but I think he'll be a fantastic replacement for Paul Pogba and all that. And that midfield area is one of the pivotal areas, of course, where we do need to strengthen up. But you can see the deficiencies in the squad. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to build a squad, worthy of the club's history, because he is still in the process of rebuilding. Like I said, it's very essential that we do get the right players to Manchester United this summer, because we need to see vast improvements, going on into this season. Because last season was very disappointing. We finished sixth. We didn't win any silverware, but we haven't won any silverware in the last couple of seasons and all that. Obviously, we haven't won the Premier League, since 2013. That's over 6 years ago now. But I do believe, anyway, our expectations going on into this season probably will be to finish in the top four and all that. I don't think, our expectations going on into this season, will be to win the league or challenge for the league, because I think we're at least a couple of years off, from challenging for the league or winning the league. But I do believe, anyway, in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations, will be that top four. I think at the moment, City is strides ahead of us, Liverpool is strides ahead of us, and I think it's very imperative, that we catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But we do know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is working on bringing the right players to Manchester United this summer. But I think we're also working on getting rid of players as well as bringing players in. But like I said, I think, it will be very beneficial, to be quite honest with you, if we do sell Pogba and we do sell Lukaku, because like I said, I think we can generate around £200 million at least for their departures. It'll help us with our rebuilding process, and of course it will help us with our transition. But talking about Paul Pogba, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does know how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is, because looking at it, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, had built a great relationship up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and all that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer built a great relationship up with Paul Pogba, should I say. And, recent reports have reflected out saying, their relationship is slowly fading, Paul Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's and all that. But it was initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans, to actually build a side around Paul Pogba. So obviously, Paul Pogba, could be playing amongst better players and all that. But obviously, Paul Pogba isn't getting this at Manchester United, as you all know. Paul Pogba confirmed a couple of weeks ago, he notified Tokyo reporters, that he's seeking for a new challenge. He wants to rejuvenate his career. He publicly admitted, that he does want to leave Manchester United. And at one point, he did say he was willing to go on strike, to force a move away from Manchester United. He did say he was willing to submit a transfer request in, and if that didn't work, he said he was willing to go on strike. We do know Real Madrid and Juventus have been battling now for his services. We do know for quite some time now, we know Real Madrid has been his first choice preference, and his likely destination, of course, has been Real Madrid. But now there's been a change of scenery, because reportedly now he's made a decision on his Manchester United future, and he has now basically said he prefers to make the return back to Turin and all that, because, Paul Pogba did have 4 good years in Turin. He exceeded expectation levels and all that, but he hasn't really replicated this form, since he did make the return to Manchester United. Obviously, we paid £89 million for him, obviously our most expensive signing, but he hasn't, really lived up to expectation levels as we all thought, he currently would have done. But the Juventus director, did confirm, he was explaining how much, Juventus love Paul Pogba and all that. Like I said, he did well well in his 4-year period there. But Juventus are now interested in re-signing him. It did come out a couple of weeks ago, saying that they're interested in re-signing him. Obviously, Juventus have been in negotiations with his agent, Mini Raiola, and all that. Confirmed the other week that Juventus director had travelled to London, to hold more extensive talks with Manchester United over the possibility of re-signing Paul Pogba. But probably more than likely anyway, Juventus probably would have to offload one or two of their essential players to fund the move for Paul Pogba, because I don't think, they'd be able to afford Paul Pogba outright, especially they've got quite a few players that are incoming as well. It's looking like, Adrian Rabiot's going to be going there, Matty Stilit's going to be going there. Obviously, they've already got Ramsey on the board with Juventus, so they have got a budget, obviously, and, they're doing good business in this window, Juventus. They obviously, got Cristiano Ronaldo last summer and all that. I just don't think they'll be able to afford Paul Pogba outright, based on the huge transfer fee that we've put on him. We actually indicated that Paul Pogba's not for sale, but he did say, we would accept a bid in the region of around £150 million. Obviously, like I said, Real Madrid have obviously, they've done good business so far this summer. I think they've already got 5 players on the board, and I think they've spent, nearly £300 million. Obviously, they've got they spent half of that on Eden Hazard, for the £150 million. But I think on 5 players, they have nearly spent £300 million of Real Madrid. I still believe Paul Pogba is one of Zinedine Zidane's main priority targets and all that, but I don't think Real Madrid are keen on getting him on the straight cash payment and all that. Come out quite a few weeks back, saying that Real Madrid were willing to offer us Gareth Bale in a transfer offer for Paul Pogba, because obviously Gareth Bale is one of the players that Real Madrid do want to sanction him off, like Cooley said. But Paul Pogba has still got 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United, with an option of a further year. He's on about £290,000 a week. Obviously, if you were reading reports last week, it says we was willing to offer him a long-term contract worth up to £500,000 a week and all that. Obviously, if this was to process, which I don't think it will, he would get around the £210,000 pay rise and all that. But there's no point in us, offering, Paul Pogba big money, if he's not playing amongst good enough players at Manchester United and all that. But maybe the couple of main factors why he wants to leave anyway, because maybe he wants to be playing amongst better players, maybe he wants to be in Champions League football, wants to be winning stuff and all that, and he's not experiencing this Manchester United, so he's probably frustrated with lack of competitiveness. But I think, obviously now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does currently want to sell him. But Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, has been working on, trying to find him a new club, at least in the last couple of months. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was reportedly willing to offer him the captaincy about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but obviously, that's not going to be enough, to convince Paul Pogba to remain at the football club. But he has been subject to a lot of transfer speculation, going back last year, was it? He was heavily linked to a move away from Old Trafford, based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. And like I said, the couple of main factors why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho, obviously, because the board weren't back in the signings that he wanted to recommend to come in. Obviously, we didn't get our number 1 targets last summer. He obviously had bad disputes with the board. Obviously, had bad disputes over the players and all that. And obviously, when Mourinho got sacked, Paul Pogba, got one of his best wishes when Jose Mourinho got sacked. But last year there was talks of him going to Juventus. I think there was also talks about him, going to Barcelona in January, Paul Pogba, but he hasn't really been the fundamental player as we all thought he would have been. We saw glimpses of Paul Pogba's best form. We mainly saw it in that 3-month period. While Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was the interim manager and all that, and we mainly saw the best of Pogba when Ander Herrera was playing. So that just proves how much of an impact Ander Herrera did currently make, because he freed up Paul Pogba and all that. Pogba was expressing himself. He was in absolutely scintillating form and all that. But I do believe he's going to be leaving Manchester United. But like I said, I think Bruno Fernandes would be the adequate replacement for him. But yeah, like I said, there has been quite a few midfielders on our agenda. Like I said, I think there's the vast majority of Manchester United fans, demanding, James Maddison to come in, because I think, James Maddison, again, would be a fantastic replacement for Paul Pogba. James Maddison is British. He's only 22 years of age. He's primarily an attacking midfielder. Obviously, he's had a year of experience under his belt in the Premier League. Last season was his debut season with Leicester, and I think he played about 36 games in the Premier League last season for Leicester. Was obviously involved in 14 goals, scored 7 goals, provided 7 assists and all that, and that is very, very impressive for the midfielder. Also last season created more chances than any other player in the Premier League, did James Maddison. I was reading reports, was it earlier on this week or was it last week, saying that allegedly James Maddison wants to meet up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because it allegedly said he's interested in a move to Manchester United. Obviously, I think he did say if Leicester were willing to sell him, they would want around £60 million for him, and I think Manchester United would be more than than happy, you know, to pay that for James Maddison, because I'd love a player of his calibre. I think it did say at one point James Maddison was interested in making a move to Manchester United, but I think he did say at the same time he's got reservations about coming to Manchester United, because obviously, you know, we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But James Maddison, you know, Leicester got James Maddison last summer from Norwich for around £20 million. I think he did sign a 5-year contract, but obviously now he's got 4 years left on his deal. But I think quite a few teams have been tracking him, you know, since he was a teenager at Coventry, because actually, you know, James Maddison, you know, began his career with Coventry. I think he also had a loan spell in Scotland with Aberdeen. I think he also went on loan with Coventry, and he had a good couple of seasons in the Championship, you know, with Norwich. But he is a really, really good player and all that. Can create chances, can score goals, can provide. Obviously, you know, demonstrated that in his first season, you know, with Leicester. But yeah, it did say about 3 or 4 weeks ago, you know, we emerged him as a priority target, and it did say, you know, we'd made initial contact with James Maddison. So I would, you know, love him, you know, to come to Manchester United, but he'd be a good replacement for Paul Pogba. I think Youri Tielemans, he'd be a good replacement for Paul Pogba. Obviously, it did say, you know, we had reignited our interest in, you know, Youri Tielemans the other week. It did say, you know, we'd been in negotiations with his agent over possibly, you know, getting a deal concluded. He is available for a reasonable figure, you know, he's you know, Youri Tielemans, I think Monaco, you know, rate him at around £40 million. He's under contract with Monaco until 2022. Obviously now he has returned to Monaco, because obviously, you know, his loan spell has ended with Leicester, but he's had about 6 months of experience under his belt in the Premier League, because he had been on loan with Leicester, you know, since January, and he did really, really well in his you know, throughout his loan spell with Leicester. This is why obviously, you know, Leicester are keen on getting him on a permanent deal, and obviously, you know, Leicester have been in talks with Monaco about this. I think it's initially in Leicester City's plans, you know, to actually, you know, to partner up, you know, Youri Tielemans alongside James Maddison in their midfield, because probably, you know, Leicester, you know, do believe that, you know, they'll complement each other really, really well, and they'll blend in very, very well together, you know, Youri Tielemans and James Maddison. But I like Youri Tielemans. Of what I've seen of him anyway, you know, he's only 22 years of age. I think he's primarily a box-to-box midfielder, but can also, you know, play as an attacking midfielder. But, you know, quite a few teams have been in there for him. I think City were in for him, Tottenham were in for him. I think also, you know, Arsenal were in for him at one point, but he has now returned to Monaco. But I think Youri Tielemans has confirmed he will not be staying with Monaco next season and all that. But then it said we were in for him, but then the other week it confirmed, you know, we'd pulled him out of the race for Youri Tielemans. So I would definitely, you know, like him to come to Manchester United, because he can score goals, like I said, he can provide, and still, you know, only very, very young. Like I said, so I would, you know, basically, you know, like Youri Tielemans, you know, to currently come in. Sean Longstaff from Newcastle, obviously, you know, it reported out last week, you know, saying that Manchester United had been in for Sean Longstaff. He said we were close to completing a deal for him of around £25 million, 21 years of age, and all that. I still believe he's recovering from that knee ligament injury, you know, that he did suffer back in March. So obviously, he didn't play the remainder of last season. Well, he didn't play the last couple of months of last season, you know, due to a knee ligament injury he had currently sustained. He's only, like I said, he's only 21 years of age. I think he's mainly a box-to-box midfielder and all that. Obviously, he began his career with Newcastle and all that. Obviously, I also had loan spells with Kilmarnock and Blackpool. So it does say, you know, Manchester United have also, you know, been in for Sean Longstaff. Obviously, as reports came out. Reports came out a couple of days ago, didn't they, of in regards to Jadon Sancho, and this was actually, you know, stemming from Forbes and all that, and, you know, they basically mentioned, saying that, you know, we could rekindle our interest in Jadon Sancho on one condition, and that's if Paul Pogba, you know, leaves Manchester United this summer, which is expected to happen anywhere. And obviously, you know, the club are orchestrating on basically, you know, generating the funds from Paul Pogba's departure and then putting them funds on Jadon Sancho. But like I said, I just think it's the media speculating on this. We may revive our interest in him, but I don't see, you know, Jadon Sancho leaving Borussia at Dortmund this summer, because I think he's actually, you know, confirmed, you know, he's set to remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund at least for another season. Obviously, you know, Borussia Dortmund have confirmed he's in their plans, because obviously Borussia Dortmund know how much of an essential player, you know, that Jadon Sancho is to them. Obviously, you know, he was our actual top priority target, you know, for a very, very long time. Obviously, you know, reflecting back in the January in January, obviously, you know, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's top priority was Jadon Sancho. Obviously, you know, Borussia Dortmund value him at around, is it £100 million? But he did say Manchester United, you know, were willing to pay that £100 million valuation and all that, because obviously, you know, we've got the financial power, you know, to currently meet that. But I think you know, we thought that, you know, we thought our hopes have been in Jadon Sancho, and obviously, you know, had come to an end, you know, based on our failure, you know, to qualify for the Champions League for next season. But he was the club's #1 priority target for a very, very, very long time. Obviously, he's the obvious candidate for the wing, because obviously he's primarily a winner. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, likes the prospect, you know, of linking up Jadon Sancho, you know, the likes of Martial and Rashford, because I do believe, you know, he would blend in our attacking line, you know, really, really well. We may get Jadon Sancho in the future, but I very, very doubt, you know, it's going to happen this summer. But Jadon Sancho can score goals, he can provide, you know, he has been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of seasons. Obviously, he's under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, and like I said, you know, and he's only 19, but if he did come back to the Premier League, I think it would obviously rejuvenate his career, take his footballing career to the next level. I think it would create a better platform for him. I think it would help him with his developing process. And Borussia Dortmund, you know, got him a couple of years ago for Manchester City. I think they paid around, was it £8 million, Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he served a couple of years there with Manchester City. Never got in Manchester City's first team and all that. Obviously, wasn't guaranteed first team football, you know, with Manchester City, not regularly anywhere. And this is the main factor reason why he left Manchester City in search for first team football. And obviously, you know, he has got this at Borussia Dortmund and all that. But yeah, very, very good player. I like him a lot. You know, like I said, he's got immense talent. He can create chances as well, score goals, and I do really, really like him a lot. But, you know, he won't leave Borussia Dortmund this summer. But like I said, Borussia Dortmund, you know, have lost, you know, a couple of players in recent years. Obviously, you know, they lost Aubameyang to Arsenal. I think they sold him for around 59 million. Obviously, they lost Ousmane Dembele a couple of years ago. You know, Barcelona, you know, got him for around 106 million pounds. But he did say, you know, if Pogba believed, you know, we could, rekindle our interest in Jadon Sancho. But the good thing is, you know, we need to address that right hand side. But the good thing is now we're getting our Bissakà in, so obviously, you know, he's going to be our right back and all that. But like I said, I'm still very sceptical of Manchester United, you know, getting a right winger in. I don't think we'll get a right winner in this summer. If I'm going to be quite honest, you know, we have been, you know, linked with quite a few winners. Obviously, you know, Nicolas Pepe is obviously, you know, the obvious candidate for the right win for Manchester United. I was reading reports up about Nicolas Pepe the other day, and it did basically say, you know, we're backing for Nicolas Pepe, but he's been subject to a lot of transfer speculation because quite a number of clubs have been in there for him. Obviously, now recent reports have actually been saying that Inter Milan are allegedly planning to put around an £80 million bid in for him. It also mentioned that Inter Milan have already put a bid in for him around £54 million. It also says now that Atletico Madrid are interested in him. Obviously, Bayern Munich have been in there for him because obviously Bayern Munich are looking for a replacement for Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery and all that. And maybe they do believe, you know, Nicolas Pepe, you know, would be the right solution. Obviously, I think Arsenal have been linked to him, you know, since January. Obviously, you know, Liverpool have also, you know, been in there for him. I think also PSG are in there for him. So many teams have inquired about his services. But actually, you know, it got confirmed about 5 or 6 weeks ago. You know, we know he's going to be leaving. That's very imminent because, you know, 5-6 weeks ago, you know, the Lille chairman had confirmed, you know, that Nicolas Pepe is currently, you know, going to be leaving, but he still remains fully uncertain at the moment, you know, where he will be applying his trade next season and all that. But I really, really like him a lot. Obviously, Nicolas Pepe so far has spent the entirety of his career in France. He has been at Lille a couple of seasons. I think he scored 37 goals in 79 appearances in all competitions. And obviously, you know, last season was the revelation of Lille. I think he scored about 22 goals and provided 11 assists. And I think he's still got 3 years remaining on his contract with Lille. But I think if Nicolas Pepe, you know, comes to the Premier League, you know, it will rejuvenate his career. You know, it will take, you know, it will be basically the next step for Nicolas Pepe. Can score goals, can provide, really, really good at creating chances. And he's the type of player, you know, that Manchester United do need. But I think maybe a player of Nicolas Pepe's calibre, you know, wants to be in a Champions League football and all that. But yeah, Liverpool have definitely not been in for him. Obviously, Duncan Castles, you know, confirmed, was it about 4 or 5 weeks ago, you know, that he basically said, you know, Manchester United and Liverpool had made initial contact, you know, with Lille and all that, of the possibility of signing him. Also, Liverpool had been in negotiations with his current agent. But like I said, I really, really like him a lot. He's only 24 years of age, so he's still got a hell of a lot of development in him. So he's been a winner Manchester United being in for. Like I said, you know, we had been in for Jadon Sancho. Like I said, with Gareth Bale, I know he's a winner, but I don't want Gareth Bale in because, I've got reservations about Gareth Bale. Obviously, too inconsistent now. Obviously, he's been inconsistent in the last couple of seasons for Real Madrid. And I think, the likes of Jadon Sancho and Nicolas Pepe would be a much better solution, than bringing Gareth Bale in. Plus, Gareth Bale is aging up, he's 29, he's nearly 30 yeah. I think he's actually, 30 next month. Obviously, he's too injury prone. But there was reports coming out the other week, like I said, Manchester United said, we was interested in getting him on loan, we was keen on getting him on a long season loan deal. It did potentially say it was for 2 seasons because there was an option, to extend by a further 12 months and all that. So we was keen on getting him on loan. Obviously, Real Madrid want to get rid of him permanently, but Real Madrid are going to find it very difficult to get rid of Gareth Bale permanently, based on his substantial wages and all that. But Gareth Bale has been relentlessly linked to a move to Old Trafford, since 2013, and the rumours have continued to persist since then. Obviously, he's still got 3 years left on his contract with Real Madrid, but to say that Gareth Bale's injury prone, his ratio's still good. I think he's scored about 102 goals in 231 games for Real Madrid, and I think he's provided them about 64 assists. He can play on the left, he can also play on the right, and we do need a winner, but I just got reservations about bringing Gareth Bale in. I probably would have took him a couple of years ago and all that. Obviously he's had experience of playing in the Premier League because he did have 6 good years with Tottenham when he was younger. But Real Madrid basically wanting to recoup the majority of the money that they did pay for him from Tottenham back in 2013, because Real Madrid paid £85 million for him. But Real Madrid confirmed towards the back end of the season that they want to get rid of Gareth Bale. Zinedine Zidane confirmed he's no longer in his plans at Real Madrid, and he also basically declared that Gareth Bale has no future at Real Madrid. I don't think Gareth Bale has got any intentions of leaving Real Madrid. But I just thought basically, I wanted him at Manchester United. But it came out a couple of weeks ago about this story saying that we had inquired about getting him on loan. We was happy to pay his wages off, and he also said, we was willing to pay him a loan fee. But obviously, we don't want to get him permanently, based on that he's injury prone and all that. So we wouldn't be keen on getting Gareth Bale, permanently and all that. But yeah, like I said, there has been quite a few winners on our agenda. But I probably expect around 3 or 4 players, to probably leave Manchester United this summer, maybe 5 at the tops. We do know Valencia's leaving, that's guaranteed. Now, like I said, Bissakà is going to be the good replacement for him. We do know that Herrera's leaving on a free transfer. Probably Darmian and Rojo are going to be leaving the club, so I think we can generate around £25-30 million for their departures, because obviously both players have endured difficult times at the club. Obviously Sanchez, like I said about Sanchez, maybe I've got reservations now about Sanchez leaving, because obviously Manchester United are obviously struggling to get rid of Sanchez, and especially we're going to find it very difficult to get rid of him permanently, based on his substantial wages. Obviously, Sanchez on 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week, based on the image rights and the bonuses. So the club are going to find it extremely difficult to get rid of him. I think the only way we can get rid of Alexis Sanchez is if we if we let him go on a long season loan, and Manchester United come to an agreement of obviously paying half of his wages off and all that. But he is one of the problematic players. Initially, he's isn't first choice anyway. He has been here since January 2018, and he has just been so inconsistent as Alexis Sanchez. And he even played under Pep Guardiola's guidance when he was younger at Barcelona, and he did really, really well at Barcelona. He did really, really well in his 4 years there with Arsenal, but he just hasn't replicated this Manchester United. He's 30 now. He has lost that yard of pace, so basically doesn't have a future at the club anywhere. Basically, doesn't have a future at the club anyway. So I think, we need to find a way, to currently get rid of Sanchez. We do know De Gea is staying now. Obviously, we do know now that Juan Mata is currently going to be staying. With Lukaku, I hope, he leaves Manchester United, like I said, because he is one of the problematic players at the club. Now, obviously, as it got reported out yesterday, Sky Sports were reporting on it, saying that Lukaku's agent, was in Milan yesterday, having negotiations with Inter Milan, obviously over trying, he's working on, trying to get Lukaku's move to Inter Milan completed as his current agent. But Lukaku's agent, actually Lukaku's agent actually, believes that, Lukaku wants to leave Manchester United and make the move to Inter Milan, and Lukaku's agent confirmed that Inter Milan are still trying to sign Romelu Lukaku and all that. But potentially, I think the fee is problematic for Inter Milan, obviously, because I think Inter Milan are struggling to generate enough funds, to meet that £75 million valuation, because obviously, we want around there £75 million. So basically, we're looking to recoup the money that we did pay for Lukaku a couple of years ago from Everton. Obviously, we got him for £75 million. There was add-ons included in the deal of £15 million, which would have potentially risen it to £90 million. Lukaku, of course, has still got 3 years left on his contract with the club, and he's on about £250,000 a week. But Inter Milan have been in negotiation with us over trying to come to an agreement on a fee and all that. But obviously, basically Inter Milan can't afford Romelu Lukaku outright, so this is why they're trying to generate enough funds, to meet that £75 million valuation. But I do believe Lukaku has agreed everything with Inter Milan, except the fee, as it did get confirmed. He has agreed the personal terms. I think he's agreed around a 5-year deal and all that, and I think he's agreed a deal worth around £180,000 a week. So everything's been agreed except the current fee. Obviously Lukaku, did say about his dreams of playing in the Serie A and all that. Obviously he's eager, to play under Antonio Conte's guidance, because probably Lukaku believes he will flourish under Antonio Conte's guidance. And obviously, he recently described Antonio Conte as one of the best managers in the world. And obviously, Antonio Conte, has identified Lukaku as his number one target. Obviously, reflecting back a couple of years ago, when Antonio Conte was the manager of Chelsea, at that point, he wanted Romelu Lukaku, but obviously, he ended up making the move to Manchester United. But Lukaku has been at Manchester United, 2 years. He was exceptional in his first season, but, didn't replicate this in his second season and all that. He scored 42 goals in 96 matches for Manchester United in all competitions and all that. But obviously, Lukaku served his 2 requirements now at the club anywhere, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. Obviously, we do know now that, obviously, Rashford his first choice ahead of him, and obviously Lukaku is reluctant to play a backup role to Marcus Rashford. But potentially it come out yesterday, saying that Inter Milan have offered us, Mario Icardi in exchange, for Romelu Lukaku. Now, at first, we wasn't interested in bringing Mario Icardi in now, but maybe now, we may consider, signing Mario Icardi as part of a deal which would see Lukaku, go to Inter Milan. So basically, that is a swap deal, because Inter Milan actually, want to get rid of Mario Icardi. But I think I'd love Icardi, to come to Manchester United, as I do keep saying. His stats are very, very impressive. He scored 111 goals in 188 games for Inter Milan, and of course, he has been there 6 years. He's obviously Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time. He's 26, like I said, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. Don't get me wrong, I've got reservations about Mario Icardi. Some of his defensive abilities concern me. Some of his touches and that concern me. But he can score goals, he can lead the lines. He's got that endless potential and all that. And I think he would be fantastic if he did come to Manchester United. Obviously enjoyed a difficult time with Inter Milan last season, didn't he? Because obviously, Inter Milan have increased and become frustrated with him. Obviously, he lost the captaincy, back in February, did Mario Icardi. But Damasio revealed this story, a while back. He's an Italian journalist, and he's actually very reliable when it in relation, especially in relation to Manchester United when it comes to transfers. But he said, was it a couple of months ago? Was it even 3 months ago now? I can't remember. It was some time ago now. Anyway, he said Manchester United, could swap Romelu Lukaku for Mario Icardi this summer and all that, but I think he would be a good adequate replacement for him without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, so Inter Milan have offered us Mario Icardi. Obviously, like I said, with Ivan Perisic, it come out the other week saying that Inter Milan had offered us Ivan Perisic as part of a swap deal, for Romelu Lukaku. Also, I think they also offered us cash, did Inter Milan as part, as well as Ivan Perisic. But we turned this down because obviously, we do know that Ivan Perisic is no longer a Manchester United target. He was a long-term target under Jose Mourinho, but he's no longer now a Manchester United target and all that. So yeah, I'm hopeful, that Lukaku, can make his move to Inter Milan. So who should replace him? Like I said, I think Mario Icardi would be a good replacement for him. Obviously, there's been talks of Paul Dybala from Juventus. Obviously, Paul Dybala has been on our agenda, for quite some time. Obviously, that got reported out before, saying that, Paul Dybala's agent and brother came out and he provided an update on his future. And, they basically said his brother and agent saying that, Paul Dybala could, leave Juventus this summer. I think during his time with Juventus, I think he's won about 4 Serie A's, something like like that, and won about 2 or 3 Copa Italians. Dybala demonstrated in his 4-year period at Juventus, that he can, play really, really well and lead the lines. I've got some reservations about Paul Dybala. I think how old is he? He's about 25, 26 years of age. Obviously enjoyed a difficult season last season though with Juventus, because obviously he had been in and out of the team. Obviously since the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus last summer, obviously Paul Dybala has found game time very, very difficult. Obviously hasn't played in the Premier League as yet, Paul Dybala, but the question is, has he got the abilities to come and succeed in the Premier League if he was to come to the Premier League? Like I said about Paul Pogba, I think Juventus are willing to offer, the one of the players that Juventus are willing to offer us in exchange for Pogba is Paul Dybala and all that. But yeah, do you think he'd be a good replacement for, Romelu Lukaku? He can score goals, Dybala, and that would be good enough, if he came to Manchester United, whilst he was adapting other areas of his game. Obviously, there has been a lot of talks going on today about Wissam Ben Yedder from Sevilla. Obviously, there's been quite a few reports going on about this today. I actually read it up in the Daily Mail, and it did say Manchester United are interested in signing him. Of course, if Lukaku does leave the club. Ben Yedder, I think he has got a good goal scoring pedigree. I think he's been at Sevilla about 3 years. Hasn't he? I think last season for Sevilla, I think he scored about 30 goals and provided about 11 assists in 54 games last season. So that is quite impressive. And he did say we are willing to trigger his 35.9 million release clause and all that. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal with Sevilla. He's under contract with them until 2021. And I think Sevilla got him for around £9 million from Toulouse back in 2016. Of course, he's French. I think he made his full international debut last year. Did Ben Yedder and all that. He is 28 years of age, so he is highly experienced, but he has still got quite a lot of development in him. Obviously, he hasn't played in the Premier League, I don't think, Ben Yedder. But it does say, that Manchester United are in for him, but he can score goals. But to be quite fair, guys, I don't really know much about him. I think he's about 5'7", isn't he? So do you think he would be a good replacement for Romelu Lukaku if he was to currently come in? But I think, we're only willing to go in for him, of course, if Romelu Lukaku, does leave the club. That's obviously, there's been a lot of reports going on about Ben Yedder today. So, would you recommend him to Manchester United? Like I said, I think we need a central defender without a shadow of a doubt. We need someone that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line without a shadow of a doubt. Because I think Victor Lindelof, dramatically improved in his second season with the club. He struggled in his first season, didn't really settle in. But I think this, last season he was really, really good. Was Victor Lindelof. He held his line well. His distribution were good. His passing were good. He was showing that ability, that he can play out from the back. But we need someone that can complement Victor Lindelof in our back line. But there's been a lot of central defenders on our coming agenda, because we have got issues defensively. Obviously, that was proven last season. Obviously, we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League last season in 38 Premier League games. That's our highest total in 40 years and all that. Yeah, but so we have definitely got issues defensively. But yeah, there's been talks of Harry Maguire, from Leicester, going on. Obviously, he's been one of our main priority targets and all that as Harry Maguire. Obviously, he has been Manchester United and Manchester City that have been battling it out for his services and all that. And recent reports have come out this week, basically, saying this came from TalkSport. I read it up in TalkSport. He basically said, Manchester City are set to sign Harry Maguire reportedly, sometime this week for a world record fee of £80 million. Obviously, this would make him the most expensive defender in world football, ahead of Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk. And it did say City were willing to pay him around £280,000 a week and all that. But like I said, I don't think City are willing to pay up to £80 million for his services. So the fee, could be problematic for Manchester City. I think City are only willing to pay at the most around £65 million for his services. But he did say Manchester City initially value, Harry Maguire around £50 million. But like I said, Harry Maguire's not worth 80 or 90 million pounds. We've been in for him, like I said, he's been one of our main priority targets. Obviously it confirmed the other week that, it did explain, saying that, we're confident we can outbid Manchester City to his services and all that, because City, are reluctant to pay up to 80 million pounds. It did say, that Ed Woodward was keen on recommending Harry Maguire in, and it did say, we was willing to pay up to 80 million pounds for his services and all that. But looking at ultimately, Leicester don't want to sell him. This is why Leicester have priced him out in the transfer market. This is why they are demanding an extortionate amount for him, because Leicester basically don't want to sell him. But if he goes to Manchester City, obviously he'll be playing him alongside John Stones and all that, and Laporte. Probably City will consider offloading Otamendi if they do get Harry Maguire on the board. And obviously City are seeing Harry Maguire as a replacement for Vincent Kompany and all that. So probably Harry Maguire wants to take his footballing career to the next level, wants to rejuvenate his career, and probably believes he will flourish under Pep Guardiola's guidance and all that. He's 26 years of age. He has still got a hell of a lot of development in him. Obviously, he is British and his defensive capabilities are very, very good. He does show that ability, to play out from the back. Does Harry Maguire. But yeah, he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Old Trafford since last summer, because obviously Harry Maguire was one of the players that Jose Mourinho wanted last summer and all that. But I don't think he's basically no interest in coming to Manchester United. He has been at Leicester a couple of seasons. I think he's made about 76 appearances in all competitions. I think 69 of them have obviously come in the Premier League. He signed a new long-term contract with Leicester last summer, so he is under contract with them until 2023. Obviously Leicester got him from Hull City for around £17 million. He served a couple of years with Hull. I think he also had a loan spell with Wigan, and when he was a lot younger, he began his career with Sheffield United. Graduated from their youth system. Obviously, then went on to play around 166 professional games for Sheffield United. But I think he's a really good central defender. He is proven in the Premier League, but I just don't think he's not a Virgil van Dijk from Liverpool. He's not a Koulibaly from Napoli. He's not a Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. He's nowhere near their calibre or level. But I still think he's a good defender. But he's not worth 80 or 90 million pounds. Like currently said. So Manchester United definitely probably set to miss out on him. There has been talks going on about Issa Diop from West Ham. Like I said, Manchester United had been in for him at least in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, it reported out a couple of weeks ago saying that Manchester United were interested in him, and he did say Issa Diop was keen on making the move to Manchester United. But again, West Ham don't want to sell him. They've priced him out of the transfer market because they basically they don't want to currently sell him, and they are demanding quite an extortionate amount for him. I know Issa Diop would be probably a cheaper solution than Harry Maguire and Koulibaly and all that, but I think West Ham did say they want at least around £60 million for him. Issa Diop obviously has had a year of experience under his belt in the Premier League. Obviously that it was his debut season in the Premier League last season with West Ham. I think he played about 33 games in the Premier League for West Ham last season. Obviously he's still got 4 years remaining on his contract, I think. West Ham got him last summer from Toulouse for around £22 million. He is only 22 years of age. He is a centre back. I think he's about 6'4", so he's very tall. I do presume he's very, very good in the air. He is a good athlete, but I just don't think Issa Diop is worth around £60 million. But yeah, he has been one of our priority targets, and I probably would blend in alongside Victor Lindelof in our backline, really, really well. Obviously, did confirm, was it the other week, saying that we had a £40 million bid turned down for Issa Diop, or was it £45 million? We'd offered 40, or was it 45 million, plus Phil Jones as part of a deal for Issa Diop, but obviously, West Ham had turned this down. It did say, West Ham, it came out the other week about this story. It said West Ham, want Anthony Martial in exchange for Issa Diop, but obviously we do know that Manchester United are not willing to go along with that. I think I've just recently also read a story about it, and he did say, again, we are preparing to pay up to around 45 million for him, and we are even willing to, give West Ham the choice, between Matty or Darmian and Marcus Rojo. So he did say we're willing to offer Matty or Darmian or Marcus Rojo plus 45 million to West Ham for Issa Diop and all that. So I probably think West Ham will not accept this, to be quite honest with you. So he did say willing to offer Darmian and Rojo plus £45 million, in exchange for Issa Diop. But like I said, I don't think, West Ham will accept it. If we was willing to offer Anthony Martial as part of the deal, and then, obviously, West Ham would go along with that, but obviously we know how much of an imperative player Martial is, so we've got no intentions of currently selling him and all that. So like I said, there's been so many central defenders on our agenda, and we need a massive overhaul this summer. Like I said, I hope it works out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know he hasn't really got the experience of managing, not to the highest level and all that. He was a great player, for 11 years with Manchester United, so he has got the pedigree as a player, but hasn't, really got it as a manager, like I quickly said. But I hope he has got the you know, the stature and the abilities, you know, to command us in that position, you know, where we do currently want to be. Because I don't want us to sack him, because I love him a lot, and, you know, we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers, because obviously we've already sacked 3 managers, you know, since Alex Ferguson retired. But like I said, regardless of who our manager is, you know, no one's going to ever follow Alex Ferguson's legacy, you know, and, you know, no one's, you know, we're never going to achieve of what we achieved under Alex Ferguson, because we had, obviously, you know, had 20 odd years of success. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, the only player that sees at the moment is Daniel James, obviously looking like the Bissakà is also going to be his. But apart from that, you know, he's inheriting 11 of Jose Mourinho's players. You know, there's still players even Van Gaal who he's inheriting. You know, there's still matter here from the David Moyes era. Initially, Fellaini was here, he was inheriting, but obviously Fellaini's now gone. He left in January, and obviously there's still 4 or 5 players here from the Alex Ferguson era that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting. So lots to you know, address in the squad. But very, very happy, like I said, with Bissakà, you know, coming in. Like I said, it's not been made fully official as yet. I think he's set to have his medical either today. It probably will be tomorrow now, you know, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I think it's going to be a 5-year contract he's going to be signing, worth around £80,000 a week. He's obviously going to get a huge pay rise on his salary, and now we have agreed we've agreed a deal worth around £50 million. Obviously, it ain't $50 million up front; it's $45 million up front. We're paying him with $5 million in add-ons. So yeah, very, very delighted about this, and hopefully Bruno Fernandes is currently not going to be the third signing. So anyway, guys, drop your likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing. As always, probably won't be doing any more videos today, unless, you know, more things, you know, does update about Bissakà, or if anything else updates, you know, we will be straight back on here, like I said. So anyway, drop your likes below on the channel. Do consider subscribing. As always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.